This is the performing songwriter, and my name is Ray Naylor. My guest today is Palatine. Palatine has shared the stage with a number of performers, including Kathy Sledge, Richard Smallwood, Kathleen Battle, and others. He's toured in the US and Europe, including in Russia. Whether performing solo or with his band, Palatine entertains his audiences with his forceful voice and with his skills on the keyboard. I'll be back to talk to Palatine shortly, but first here he is performing one of his original songs here on The Performing Songwriter.
Hey there, I'm Palatine, and I'm so excited to be here on The Performing Songwriter with Ray Naylor. I'm a native of Philadelphia, and this first song is one I wrote probably 10 years ago, and it's entitled, Where Is My Heart? Rewinding back the times and the things I have said, I'm hoping all along it wasn't only in my head. Now all I can do is wonder about you. I'm falling apart. Tell me, where is my heart? Oh, where is my heart? Oh, where is my heart? I thought I knew where. I thought I knew where. Oh, where is my heart? Oh, where is my heart? I thought I knew where. I thought I knew where. Remembering it all so effortlessly, I'm realizing now it was all in me. 1,000 words, and you will never understand how seriously I'm in the palm of your hand. But tell me, where is my heart? Oh, where is my heart? I thought I knew where. I thought I knew where. Oh, where is my heart? Oh, where is my heart? Thought I knew where. I thought I knew where. Life, it comes at you fast and moves on. Time is right behind life. Life, it comes at you fast, but be strong, 'cause time is right behind life. Rewinding back the times and the things I have said, I'm hoping all along it wasn't only in my head. Now all I can do is wonder about you. I'm falling apart. tell me where is my heart.
Palatine, how you doing?
Hey, Ray.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, man.
Now I have to talk about your name, which is also the name of your band. Now I looked it up on the
Yes.
internet,
Oh, okay.
and according to the internet, it says means a high-level official attached to the imperial or royal courts in Europe since Roman times.
Oh, yeah.
And is that a relationship?
Well, actually, you know what? Back in grade school, I played a game called Magic the Gathering. And in it, there was a character named the Northern Paladin. Mm-hmm. And so there was a transition period where I wanted to find a band name and something that I could, start my music career with. And I was with my niece from Seattle, Washington, and we were looking up Paladin. Well, when we found Paladin, there was already a couple other bands named Paladin, some big things going on with that name. And she looked through the dictionary and she said, "Oh, Uncle Derek, what about Palatine?" And I looked it up and I'm like, yes, like that is it. So that was the day and the origination of Palatine.
Okay. Now I mentioned in the introduction that you've played in Russia.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Oh, I went to Lehigh University, and while there, I was part of the Lehigh University choir. And every other year, we would take an international tour. One year, we went to St. Petersburg, Moscow, Yaroslavl, and also parts of Germany, too, that same year. Mm-hmm. And during that time, I got to sing with the choir and tour and be all in Germany and enjoying so much scenery and so many different things. Yeah. It was something. It was something. I miss them. Hey, Lehigh University Choir.
Now, how long have you been writing songs?
That's a funny story because I don't know if I consider this the first song I've ever written. But, you get upset with your siblings. I have two older sisters, and I have, my mom and my dad, and we all live together in West Philadelphia. And I remember one day I got in trouble for something, and it didn't take much for me to really feel the effectiveness of being in trouble. And I laid on my mom's bed, and I started crying, and I looked up at the light, and through my tear, it had like an iridescent, like colorful thing going on. And I remember writing some song that, I don't remember how the song went, but I remember the lyrics, and it was like, Derek do this, Derek do that, Derek's the one who's chubby and fat. And it was like, I think that might have been my first song that I've ever written.
And how long ago was that? You were a kid?
I was a little boy, laying in my mom's bed, probably sucking my thumb.
Now, did you learn keyboard or piano when you were a kid? Or was that later on?
That was in lower school. I took piano lessons, I believe I was in 4th and 5th grade, with a man named Malik Shabazz. And he would come to my house every week, and he taught me with the John Thompson's piano series.
Okay.
And I know that's kind of like a popular one with...
Well, I remember my mother who played piano and organ, and I remember that name on some of her books.
Yeah. And I heard about it, too, from Sandy Patty, the Christian singer. Mm-hmm. She had this one CD where she talks about, do you remember those books? John Thompson's book 1. And I'm like, yeah, it's downstairs on my piano. It's right there right now. And it was just like, it had like really cool songs with gnomes and, this song is called The Dancing Gnome. And it would just go boom, 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 boom. And you learn one hand at a time.
Right.
And just very simple, fun things like that. And that was when I started piano. And then I moved on to more classical piano with the late Father John D'Amico. Mm-hmm. Right. And he was my teacher through, I heard the Maple Leaf Rag in one of my music classes in school. Mm-hmm. And he told me he could teach it to me.
Cool.
And we went through courses, and then finally he taught me the Maple Leaf Rag. And that was when I said I didn't want to take any more lessons, which I think now may have been a mistake, because I could be running up and down the piano like Liberace or something if I would have kept going. But I learned to create songs on my own after that, and write songs on the piano, and actually get out, those whatever feeling I was feeling through the keyboard as well as through vocals.
How would you describe your own songwriting process? How does it work for you?
That's something that I actually think about a lot, because there are times when, like for instance, in the song Blue Skies, I'll have a dream and I'll hear a song in a dream and wake up and try to produce it as best I can. Mm-hmm. There are times when a melody line will come to me, but the melody line that I sing will become the piano part a lot of times. And then I'll create a chord structure around that. And then there are other times where I'm just playing a chord structure and I just start kind of just freestyling a song and seeing where it takes me and if I like it, and then develop the song from that point.
I wanted to ask you, have you been in like musicals? Things like that, at theater?
I'm in one now.
I'm going to, well, let me ask you, well, I'm going to ask you about that later, but yeah, because some of I'm trying to think of the genre of your songs, and some of that comes through, at least with some of your songs, something along that you might hear in a musical.
There's some musical influence. I went to Chestnut Hill Academy, and I was part of their boys choir from 3rd grade through 8th grade. Mm-hmm. And every year they would do a choral concert under the direction of Mr. Roland Ware, and every year they would do a musical. And in 3rd grade, I remember we did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, mm-hmm. and all of the lead roles would go to the 8th graders. They were the big guys. They were, right. Stronger and smarter and all that than we were. But I was able to get a role in that play as a 3rd grader. Mm-hmm. And I'm not very proud of that role, but I really am proud of it too at the same time. I was Potiphar's wife. And if you know what happens with her in the Old Testament, Joseph is becoming more and more prominent in Egypt as a wealthy businessman and ruler and an advisor to Potiphar, or maybe Pharaoh. I'm not exactly sure now. But, it's Potiphar. And Potiphar's wife was a temptress. And she had to walk around. And it was all boys school, so I had to dress and drag in 3rd grade as Potiphar's wife. And so every year we did plays. I wasn't always in as a role in the play, but that instilled in me mm-hmm. a lot of, I guess, that theatrical energy, right. and right. the beauty behind all of that.
Now, I wanted also to ask you, I guess, co-host or an open mic in Philadelphia at the Grape Room, which used to be the Gray Street Pub when I used to go all the time.
Oh, yeah.
20 years ago. And that's on Monday nights for people in Philadelphia area?
Yes, sir. In Manayunk, right on Grape Street, right off Main Street. Every Monday night, we have artists from all over, which is, I'm so excited because that's how I met you. Mm-hmm. This nice gentleman walks in, unsuspecting, ends up having this brilliant internet TV show. And
I'll have to meet him sometime.
I can hand you a mirror if you. No, he's so. Just there are people come from all over. There's, I met so many brilliant people there. I met Jack Carson, who's Jack with no K is what he goes by in the music industry, and he plays guitar with me now in my band. A lot of my bandmates come from there. Rick Sabatini, who does Sabatini Pro Painting. Danny Newport. We worked together on a project. I got to know Morgan Pinkstone, who co-hosts every other week.
Okay.
And then there's people who come from Macedonia and,
wow.
All over, who come visit the club in their open mic tour. Last night, a guy from Raleigh, North Carolina says he just goes and visits open mics. Who was his name? The Medicine Man. So he came and I asked him where in Raleigh were some good open mics because my sister lives down there. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So again, that's the Grape Room in Manayunk in Philadelphia.
Yes, sir.
And that's on Monday nights. And people, I think the sign up is 8:30 or
8:30 exactly. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to hear some more of your songs right now.
Okay.
But right before that, I'm going to play a portion of a video of our next guest.
Oh, cool.
And I think she's 15 years old.
What?
Although she could be 14.
What's her name?
Her name is Madeline. Let me make sure I get Madeline Anderson.
Go ahead, Madeline Anderson.
And I think her mom took this video. She opened for just a week or so ago for Ansha Duvacot at the Burlap and Bean in Newtown Square.
Oh, yeah.
And so this particular song is called Bliss. And again, this is Madeline Anderson. Madeline will be my guest really in about a week. And then we're going to hear 3 more of your songs.
Oh, man. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a scary place for you and me, but I guess ignorance bliss. And the best part of this is thinking we can break the chain. We're all swimming in a sea of broken morals and philosophies. We all think that we know where it's going. But can I be the first to say that I don't know which way to go? Terrorism is real. Let's not forget about the gun steal. Why is the world so full of hate? I say let's stop. When must we all discriminate? But I guess ignorance plays. And the best part of this is thinking we can break the chain. We're all swimming in a sea of broken morals and philosophies. And we all think that we know where we're going. Can I be the first to say that I don't know which way to go?
This song is called Fire, and it's from an EP I released over the summer with my band, Eric Allenson, Jack Carson, Anthony Pompey. Rick Sabatini at the time was playing the bass. It was produced by Ted Richardson. We've got that fire. We got that fire. We got that fire. Let it burn. His name is Chris, and on the street is where he grew. Tried hustling, but has to groove. He's moving from side to side and from left to right. He lights a fire under his shoes. Andrea is the coolest girl on the block. All the kids think she rocks. She's got the latest style and a pretty smile. She lights a fire where she walks. Fire. We've got that fire, and you've got that fire. We've got that fire. Let it burn. Leah's the mastermind that gets everything right. Oh yeah, her brain is out of sight, and she can solve it all. Nothing she can't recall. She lights a fire and shoots you to the sky. Fire. Got that fire, we all got that fire, and let it burn. It's your turn to shine your light. It's your fire. And you've got the fire. We all got that fire. Let it burn. The song is called Blue Skies, and it was written a couple years ago. My aunt was living with me when she was going through the last year and a half of her life. She was diagnosed with metastasized cancer, and she came to me and she said, hey, I really want you to help me with something. I want to write letters to my sister and my daughters that I want you to deliver to them after I'm gone. So she would come into my bedroom and we would sit there, and she was a praying woman, and she would pray and we would cry and we would go over some memories and things, and I would type out the letters as she would speak them. And in one of her prayers, she said, I pray that the music that you hear in your dreams, you'll be able to bring out into the world, into your reality. And that prayer hit me so hard, because I love dreams. I know we all love to have a nice dream. And I would have these dreams and sometimes just forget them. And so I was having this dream this one day where me and my cousin Miranda, my sister Donna, were on a roller coaster in this dream world that seemed to be Dorney Park. And it had wood rafters everywhere, like a wooden roller coaster. And while we're going over this one hill, everything went slow, in slow motion. And we're going over the hill, we start flying out the car, and we grab onto one of the rafters like, oh my goodness, what is going on? and we're all upset, like, we're gonna go complain to the office about their messed up roller coaster system. So we go downstairs. I mean, down wherever it was, if it was stairs or escalator or flying. I don't remember how we got there exactly. But we ended up in the Dorney Park office. And behind a wall that was painted kind of a subtle orange color, there was a man playing this song. And in my dream, and it was coming out of the speakers in the ceiling. And I said to myself, that's my song. I'm writing that song, like, this is a dream. And I woke up and pulled out my cell phone and sang some grumbly something or other into the phone so that I could remember the song. So I dedicate this song to my Aunt Boobie, and it's called Blue Skies. You will find in your mind every time something new, every day. Skies will gray, then turn blue. ABC noodle, warm apple strudel, shoot moonbeam rockets off the moon. Rainbow linguine, summer zucchini, a warm day that doesn't end too soon. You will find in your mind every time something new, every day fades away. Skies will gray, then turn blue. Pillows don't eating, hot chocolate drinking, scoops of your dreams put on a plate. Baby is screaming. Cookie jar gleaning, asking that person on a date. You will find in your mind every time something new, oh, every day it fades away. Skies will gray, then they'll turn blue. Sometimes you'll feel alone when nobody is on the phone, right? And all your close friends are so far away. But I've learned that I don't need to be discouraged. there is no need to worry. 'Cause when alone, you will grow in every way. You will find in your mind every time something new. Every day it fades away. Skies will gray, then turn blue. This is called Hypnotize. Let's have a little fun. Hey baby, I've been thinking about you. Thought maybe you've been thinking about me too. When we hit the dance floor last night, oh you had me locked in your spell. Everything was alright until the way you move your body, your eyes, lips, and thighs. Oh babe, you got me hypnotized. You got me hypnotized. Oh you got me hypnotized. You got me hypnotized. Oh you got me hypnotized. Hey baby, I've been dreaming about you. Thought baby, you've been dreaming about me too. The way you move it thrills me. You drive me crazy. You drive me crazy. And when I hold you, it heals me. No others faze me. No others faze me. The magic in your smile, sexy A to Z. Oh sweet baby, what you do to me. You got me hypnotized. Oh you got me hypnotized. You got me hypnotized. Oh you got me hypnotized. The room is spinning. You're all I'm seeing. Feels like I'm tripping. Oh babe, I'm tripping. The room is spinning. You're all I'm seeing. Oh, I'm tripping. 'Cause baby, you got me. You got me. You got me. Hypnotized. Yeah.
So that's a slide of some of our shows that we're going to be having in the next, I guess, a couple months, something like that. Yeah, your songs are very interesting. They're all a little different.
Oh, thank you.
And that's kind of cool. I like
you.
that little variety, You have a really nice video that's called, where the song's called Run With Me. And you had like a little Run With Me summer tour.
Yes.
Talk about that song and how that whole video thing came to be.
I was in a band called Lunar Nights with a great songwriter, Benjamin Yoblick, who now goes by Ben. And he wrote that song, I don't know how long ago, when he was living in California. I think he said he was in the desert with one of his friends and they were sitting on a rock or something and wrote that song, but it wasn't complete. And when he married my cousin Miranda, I met him and I told him I was a singer-songwriter and he showed me that song and we started working on it together. And we finished the song and then we recorded it at Melody Vision Studios with Rodney Wittenberg. Uh-huh. And as that process went on, I love the song so much, it became one of my favorites. And I just wanted to really do the best I could with that song for him, for Rodney, for myself and my band, and wanted to put it out on an EP that it focused the interest on that song and do a tour, just a small tour. We did a summer tour. We did stops that were no more than 3 hours away up and down the East Coast, with that song being the focus. Sometimes I had to play shows alone. We visited Brooklyn, D.C., parts of New Jersey, and Pennsylvania were the main. And
that was
places.
just this past summer?
Just this past summer. From June 2nd was our first show at the Avita store in the King of Prussia Mall.
Oh, wow.
And then the last show was in Wilmington, Delaware at this awesome thing they do every Wednesday called Wilmo Wednesdays at the Ernest and Scott's Tap Room.
Cool. You had mentioned before that you're going to be in a show, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Now, we're recording this early in October 2017, so if you're watching this 2020, this is not relevant anymore. but the show is it's going to be at the National Marian Anderson Museum.
Well, almost.
Almost.
Yeah, the National Marian Anderson Museum is putting on a 20th anniversary gala.
Oh, okay.
And their gala is the show and the after party or event after the show, but it's taking place at the String Theory Philadelphia Performing Arts Theater.
Okay, and it's ragtime, right?
It's ragtime.
And what's your part in the show?
I have been fortunate and blessed enough to get the role of Coalhouse Walker Jr. And Coalhouse is in Harlem. He's the bringer of ragtime music to Harlem in the early 1900s. And in the process of this whole entire the event there's J.P. Morgan and Henry Ford, and they're like these prominent Americans who are so wealthy. And then there are immigrants coming from Latvia and other parts of the world. And then there's the musical community of Harlem, and they're all meeting in this one point of tension, racial tension, war in a sense, and it unfolds as a musical does.
and now that's going to be, when is that?
October 28th.
Okay.
At 5 p.m.
And again, where is it going to be located?
It's at 1600 Vine Street in Philadelphia at the Performing Arts Theater at the String Theory High School. Mm-hmm. Okay. You can't get tickets at the door, though. It's a one-night only thing. You have to get tickets from the Marian Anderson Museum beforehand. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So if you're watching this and there's still time to do that, that's how you do it.
Yep.
Now, you have some recordings in this one.
Yep.
Here.
Let me grab that. Yep.
This one here, it's called, well, I'm going to let you pronounce this. So
Substantiation.
Substantiation.
Yes, sir.
And is that a full length, or is that an EP, or?
It's actually just a demo CD.
Oh, okay.
And it has, how many songs does it have on there? Three songs. We recorded this at the studio TED Audio. And this was just to help us get our feet wet in in everything just to get an idea of our sound. Some of the songs on there are ones that we'll do full productions of later.
And then you came out with an EP. Was that part of your tour?
Yes.
Okay, and what's the title of that one?
Run With Me, the EP.
Okay. Now, if people want to learn about your music, want to see where you and or your band would be playing, what's the best way to do that?
www.palatinerock, which is PALATINEROCK.com. And we have all our recordings on there and photos from the tour. Also, just other side projects that are happening. We have those posted up there as well.
Okay. Palatine, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you,
Thanks
Ray.
for coming on and sharing your music.
My
with us.
pleasure, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
And we'll be back probably in a week or so with Madeline Anderson. And we'll see you then.